Well, a bit of a change tonight. I'm up in the garage and I've got my XJ900 here, XJ900f. It's 1989 and it was my father's bike, so he gave it to me. I did it up years ago and got it all sorted out, and I must admit I've neglected it for a while. It's been sitting up here in the garage and I haven't used it much. I'm doing about a couple of 100 miles a year, so I've decided to pay it a bit of attention, and I have spent a couple of nights here stripping bits off it and just generally fiddling, footing about, getting it done up. I'll give you a closer look here now. Looks fairly normal from the front until we go down a bit, and I've taken the exhaust off it, the whole lot. 4 downpipes, silencers, everything all off. I've also drained the oil, and I've slackened off the oil filter housing, just let that drain out. I ordered an oil filter for it, it hasn't arrived yet, so we're waiting for that to come. I've removed the brake pads, and I'm going to, I've cleaned up the pistons slightly. They were just a bit dirty, both sides, and I shall be showing you a bit more what to do with the brakes in a minute or two. Moving on round, I took into the back end, took out the back wheel. It's going to get 2 tires fitted to it. They've been ordered, they're not here yet. And so I removed the back wheel, mudguard, tailpiece, seat, side panels, everything. Took the back brakes apart as well. The strangest thing about this, I don't know if it's terribly strange, but the back brake pads and the front brake pads are identical. No difference at all, same pads front and rear. So if the calipers all cleaned up, and just waiting to get the pads and get them fitted. I took the air filter out of it, and you probably heard it thanking me as I did it, because it really was, it was in a shocking state. I'll go and hook it out of the bin here and let you have a look. I don't know how that wee engine was able to breathe at all. It's definitely bad now. It'll be a lot better whenever I get a new one in. Only 12 quid. eBay. It's fantastic. So what else have I done? Took the mudguard off, washed and cleaned. Got the most of the dirt and stuff off that. That's the back mudguard. That's the inner part, the front part of the back mudguard. Rear axle out, cleaned. Both footrest brackets. That's the rear caliper bracket. It's all cleaned up as well. Rear footrests. The left-hand silencer. These are the stabilising arms for the Cruiser panniers that go on the back here. And they were dull. Of those polished up and lacquered to stop them from going dull again. Number plate, air filter, yeah, the whole lot. These were black. I had those painted black at some stage. Now I'm not going to start polishing them. I rode them. I cleaned them with the wire wheel over there on the bench. I like the wire wheel. It's one of my favourite things. It sort of removes everything. Polished up the brake lever a bit. The torque arm, as you can see, I cleaned it up on the wire wheel, and I'm not going to go in. I'm not a restorer. I don't restore things. I'm not a painter. I'm not going to start rubbing things down and putting primer on them and putting black paint on them. I cleaned it up and I covered it in clear lacquer. This will stop it rusting in the future, and it also gives it that, I'm going to say this word, patina of age, obviously, because the bike is 1989, that's 31 years old. So it should look as if it's 31 years old, and it's got 63 6,447 miles. So that's basically it. I have ordered a load of parts: air filter, oil filter, pads front and rear. And once they come, well, let's have a look at the exhaust. The exhaust was wickedly rusted. I mean, the downpipes were clean rotten. So yet again, wire wheel. I have done as best as a job as I can do. Now, without continually polishing these and washing them, they're going to rust up again. It's just a question of having to do it. The grab rail at the back is alloy. I have it polished a bit and just a spray of lacquer over it. I've got into this lacquer. I do like a bit of lacquer, would you believe? And that's the number plate bracket again. Number plate bracket, yet again, it was badly rusted. I have it cleaned up with a wire wheel and lacquered so it won't rust. It is what it is. That's the way I'm doing it. I'm not restoring it. I'm not doing a restoration, I'm doing a rustoration. Wee brackets like that, painting bits and pieces. What else have we got? Footrest bracket. This is the left hand front footrest bracket. I have the rubber off it. That was all badly rusted. It's cleaned down and lacquered as well. So I'll get that put together and put back on again. Well, something else. So one of the that's the wee things hanging everywhere. I'll be able to, hopefully I'll be able to find them. That's a wee bracket for the cruiser mounting bracket. So basically, that's it. Now, over the years, I have struggled from time to time with brake calipers, getting the pistons pushed back in motorcycle brake calipers. And on Monday night, this is Wednesday now, on Monday night, I was on eBay and I ordered a tool. A disc brake spreader. And I ordered it from this company here, Smoking. For the love of bacon. Did a little, I think they're in Ardrossan in Scotland. And I ordered that Monday night, sort of 9 or 10 o'clock at night. And it arrived this afternoon at about 3:30. And it's eBay, it's just so handy. I ordered the air filter this afternoon. Once I discovered I needed an air filter, just on the phone, pick up the phone, order it, and that's it. That's brilliant. So let's get this out and let's have a look. So the principle is quite simple. You screw this and it spreads. I don't want to set you down. Go. Slip that in, wind it out, and wind your brake pistons back. And then if you want to push them out again with the lever or whatever, give them a bit of a clean again and wind them back out. I mean, I've struggled for years. This should really help. I have the pistons cleaned at the minute, so I'm going to try this and see how easy it is for the pistons to go back. There's a guy I watched on YouTube called Musty1. He's an American fella, and he repairs things and whatever, and he works on his own all the time, and he's got stands set up for cameras and stuff like that, and I'm starting to realise how difficult it actually is. So here we're going to go. This is the tool. I need to get it between the pistons, so I need to get it a bit closer together. Like that. Slide it in and open it out. Now hopefully these pistons will just slip back as nice as you like, with a little persuasion. Yeah. they're stuck more than I would have liked them to be stuck. See that? Okay, what I'm going to have to do is I've put a pad on the other side. I need to put another pad in there to stop it from popping out. I'm going to pump these pistons out a wee bit. I've thrown a set of pads into the other side. Hopefully these will slide back now. Not so much. Whenever I start to apply the pressure, they're not going back as much as freely as I would like them to. What happens is there's more pressure being applied at this side than there is at the back side, so the pistons aren't actually going in straight. They're going in a wee bit of an angle. I could counteract that by placing a screwdriver. Where's that big screwdriver gone? Of course. Put a screwdriver in the back. You really shouldn't have to do this. That's it going now. Come right and attack it from the back end as well. I have to say, not as easy as I thought. This piston here is going back quite well. The bottom one, not so much. So what we'll do is, that's it wound back completely. As you can see, I'll give it a bit of a clean. Of course, as is the way with most things, you can adapt the tool to work a different way. Instead of spreading by pressing out, you can just put the tool in this way and wind the piston back in that fashion. Now it sticks one way, bring it round, stick it on and tighten it up the other way. That's the piston right back now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pump this one out, as you will see, hopefully. Okay, and I'll give it another bit of a clean. Brake cleaner. Reiniger, as they call it in Germany. Right. Give it a blast with brake cleaner. Give it a scrub with a good old toothbrush. This is all very well, but it's going to take a lot of toothpaste for this to taste anyway nice tonight. The state of it. Ah, well. Well, I got the other side wound back, but I have to say, basically there's an inherent flaw in the tool. What happens is, instead of the tool going back parallel to each other, it spreads out like that, and then that means that the pistons aren't being driven in squarely, they're being driven in at an angle like that, and they don't go back at an angle. I'll try this side here. Just there's too much walloping, too much free play in that side there. that would need to be a tighter fit, and that would need to be a tighter fit to save that movement. Let's try this just to see, but it's certainly not as good as I thought it would be. I've struggled at that other side. Because instead of those pistons being driven back straight, see the angle on that one? Right, I have beefed up this bit here by putting in thicker washers, which allows less free play. So we'll give it an attempt and see if it has any significant difference on the thing at all. Oh well, it seems to have done a bit now, because that piston has gone back readily. This one's not away yet, mind you, but let's have another wee go at it here now. There you go. Well, it has worked up to a point. Let's just pump these pistons out again till you see. Obviously this one here is freer because it's pumping out freer. Let's see if I give it a wee touch. I wonder, will I have any better luck on the back calipers? On the back caliper, I'll set it in and go for a gentle spread. It worked better on the back caliper than on the fronts. Right, okay, so what are we going to do now? I've kind of exhausted. I'm going to take this footrest bracket off here, take the rubber off it, and maybe swap this rubber on the far side, because the one on the far side always gets worn more due to the gear change. So I can be able to swap those over, and that'll make it slightly more even, and give that a clean up and get it lacquered ready for refitting tomorrow. Alright, gonna remount the left hand footrest bracket, so we don't want this seizing up in the future. I'm sort of torn here because I have still got a lot of stuff down in my own garage at my own house, including my copper slip and brush and whatever that I would normally use to do this, but we're just going to use ordinary grease at the minute, which is fair enough. Okay, gonna have to lay on my back and grunt a bit. Whoa. Yeah. Man, where'd that go to? Right there. There's a big center stand spring on the left of the road here. Okay. And you know what? I ain't got my torque wrench, which is going to annoy me somewhat, but we're just going to have to make do. Once my elbow goes click, we'll know we're there. Get up, you bugger. Click. That's it. Right, get the rubber taken off the other one, brought round once you get it cleaned. The reason why I didn't just unbolt this one and whack it out whilst the other one was still off was because they are the two back engine mounting bolts, and I didn't want something to shift and then just be in a world of pain. I have been in a world of pain so many times working out things that I'm just always very dubious. It's hard to believe that this bolt was tightened by a Japanese man nearly 40 years ago. And hasn't been moved since. Japanese man with some fantastic tooling. Gonna have to go and get the 14 for that one. Come on. Finger type. Not really, but you know what I mean. I hear you. I hear you. What's wrong with goddamn ratchet? Couldn't be ours getting up again. There you go. Getting that soft, boy. And this funny wee bracket. You know what that now? What's that there for? Mr. Yamaha didn't fit that for no reason. That must be, there's a, yeah, there it is there. That vent pipe is meant to vent out through that, and I'll have it back into that before it goes back onto the back again. Okay. Let's just unbolt this. That's a wee plate. Bolt needs cleaned up. That bolt needs cleaned up. I'll clean all this up on the wire wheel and I'll remove this rubber pad and stick it on the far side. Right, let's see about fitting this footrest rubber. I have swapped it from the far side. That is the right hand one. There's the left one there. It'll do alright. Yeah. Okay, so yet again, application of grease. Don't want this seizing up. Drop of grease on there. 10mm nut. This will fit. Yeah. Here's one I prepared earlier. Tight enough. Tight enough. Okay, that's that one on. I think that'll do me. I've sprayed that left hand footrest bracket a couple of times. That's the side stand spring, cleaned up, sprayed it a couple of times with lacquer, and I'm more or less at an end now. It's about 9:15. So we'll call it a day and come back again tomorrow, no doubt, or whenever a few brake pads and bits and pieces arrive, and the oil filter's the first thing I really need to get stuck in, so we'll do that. Right, until the next time.